Shenron! By your name I summon you forth!
When people think of anime, one name almost always comes up: Dragon Ball. Created by Akira Toriyama in 1984, it started as a manga and grew into one of the biggest media franchises in the world. But what makes it more than just an action series is its cultural impact. Across the globe, from Japan to Mexico to the US, fans connect with its story of growth, friendship, and resilience. As we've discussed in class, media doesn't just entertain us, it shapes identity and brings people together. Dragon Ball does exactly that.
Dr. Slump was serialized in Weekly Shonen Jump for 4 years, and Toriyama won awards for his work as well. But after 3 years, Toriyama would shift his focus to another project. Shortly before Dragon Ball, Akira Toriyama created a Kung Fu shonen manga, and this was fueled by his love for Kung Fu films at the time. This manga would be titled Dragon Boy, 2 chapters that told the story of a boy returning a princess back to her home country. Along the way, the boy allies with others and forms an unlikely team that helps him return the princess to her home. And when you look at some of the panels and other art for this story, it is clear that the early parts of Dragon Ball are heavily inspired by them. And another thing that this story has in common with Dragon Ball is a heavy influence from Journey to the West.
At its core, Dragon Ball is about growth. Goku's journey from a kid to the universe's strongest fighter represents constant self-improvement. Vegeta evolves from a proud warrior into someone who values family and honor. And Gohan's transformation during the Cell Saga shows how hidden potential can awaken under pressure. These characters represent universal ideas about perseverance, rivalry, and self-discovery. Scholars refer to this as the myth of continuous self-improvement, and Dragon Ball embodies it perfectly to its core. Dragon Ball's power goes beyond story. It's cultural. In Latin America especially, the show became a symbol of community. When the final episode of Dragon Ball Super aired, entire cities held public screenings. Fans sang the theme songs together, not in Japanese, but in Spanish, because the show had become part of their identity. This is a cultural exchange in action. As our readings on globalization explain, media flows across borders, transforms, and creates shared meaning. Dragon Ball didn't just spread, it became local everywhere it went. You can see Dragon Ball's influence everywhere. Its structure, training arcs, tournaments, transformations created the blueprint for modern action anime. Shows like Naruto, One Piece, and My Hero Academia follow patterns that Dragon Ball popularized. Beyond anime, the franchise shaped gaming culture, from Dragon Ball Fighters to collabs with global titles like Fortnite. And even athletes reference going Super Saiyan to describe peak performance. Scholars call this cultural reproduction, when media inspires new art, trends, and language. Dragon Ball's legacy continues through every creator it influenced, even past Toriyama's death.
And of all the fandoms I've ever been in, I witnessed the most beautiful artwork. I've read the most wonderful stories. And one thing about Dragon Ball, I think that separates it from a lot of shonen anime is the lore of the world. It creates such an open lore that people are inspired to write these stories. I've read.
Then there's the fandom, one of the most passionate in the world. Fans create art, cosplay, edits, AMVs, and entire online communities centered around the series. On Discord, Reddit, YouTube, and TikTok, conversations continue long after episodes have ended. Dragon Ball doesn't just have viewers, it has a global community that keeps it alive and running. From its themes and characters to its global reach and passionate fandom, Dragon Ball shows how a single story can connect people everywhere. It shaped anime, influenced creators, gave me a childhood, and inspired millions to grow just like its heroes. The journey never really ends, and neither does Dragon Ball's impact.